Okay, so yeah, you're sort of blinded by the light by me to start with, but hey, that's life and that's the way it goes. Okay, so this is another deep thought. I'm going through trying to figure out parents and what they do with their kids and all of that stuff, and I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of people that feel attacked by this, but it's not about attack. It's about understanding what you're doing, understanding what we're doing and how it's affecting our children. One of the things that comes up the most for me in watching other people do the things that they do is they all have this desire that their children be better than them, right? So it goes to show that they ended up being overprotective or over controlling, or I mean, just quite literally, it translates to them to protect their child. To protect their child, they have ideas on what that looks like. But it doesn't really teach their children how to deal with life. I mean, overall, what are we doing? Right? What's our idea on what it is that we're trying to accomplish? You know, so list those things. And I challenge all parents out there to do this. List it. List those things. I mean, for me, for my kids, I want to raise somebody that is self-confident, that owns their own creativity, individualistic identity, that they're happy, that they are doing the things that they want to do and that create the happiness in their lives. All of that stuff. Wow, there's lots of light in here. It's just because the sun's right at a certain angle. Anyway, and to be able to handle and deal with life in a very calm and self-assured way. Okay, so let's just take a look at those things. I think that most people can agree that this is what they want for their kids, right? Or at least intellectually, this is what they want for their kids. And, sorry, just straightening that out. Okay, intellectually, this is what I hear the most, right? This is what I want for my kid. Now, the truth is if you look around you, the teaching techniques that have been I can't speak. The teaching techniques that have been implemented thus far are not working. Because I don't see a lot of really self-assured people. I mean, I'm self-assured. I'm a self-assured person. I really own who I am. I understand how good I am at things. I understand me on a level that most people don't. And many people find it threatening. And I've always gone, huh? How can you find this threatening? Because one, I'm not threatening anybody. I'm just confident in what it is that I'm doing and who it is that I am. But they see it as a threat. So how is that supposed to work? Self-confidence in this society is held as something that's threatening. And part of it is because they aren't self-confident. Right? If you have an argument with a self-confident person, let's put it this way. If you have a conversation, we'll talk about it as a conversation first, with a self-confident person, and they're talking about something that they're very confident about, a piece of fact, and you go, no, that's not it. You know, and you start getting angry, even though you are confident in your fact, and the self-confident person doesn't get angry. And say, well, you know, I'm really sure that this is the case, but why don't we look that up? Why don't we hit the internet, or why don't we do this or do that? You know, and then we'll know. Because I don't want to be in the wrong. I don't want to be... So the self-confident person's not getting angry. The self-confident person is trying to find out what really is the fact in the situation, as opposed to trying to make himself right, or herself in any case. But the other person feels threatened by that self-confidence because they think that they're right, and so therefore you must be wrong, as opposed to the self-confident person, which says this may be correct or this may be incorrect. So I want to clarify a couple of things here after the sunlight blots you out. I'm probably not going to use this, but good for ideas. A couple of things. Being right is not where it's at. Being correct is where it's at. Right implies that an emotional need. There's an emotional need attached to the word right. I need to be right, and therefore I must be right. Okay? Everybody wants to be right. Emotionally, they do not want to make mistakes. Okay? Let's trace this back to why. We don't want to make mistakes because our parents taught us that mistakes are bad. And that's one of the single most insane teachings in our society right now. Mistakes are never bad. But almost all the time, mistakes are ridiculed. The person that makes a mistake is ridiculed. And you know it. And I know. We all know. But take a look at it. When your son or daughter drops their milk, what do? You get upset that the milk drops because you know you're going to have to clean it up. Now you have to spend your time. So you get upset. So in that translation to your child, what does it do? It teaches your child that making mistakes, being clumsy, doing all of that stuff is bad. Now, in our big scheme of things, how is that training your child to be self-confident? How is this training your child to be that person that's happy and understanding? It isn't, is it? So take a look. Okay? Let's go into other mistakes. They screw up on a math question. Say a math question that you're trying to teach them, and you're getting frustrated with the way that you're teaching or the way that they are hearing. I'll just lean this way. And so therefore you gripe and groan and why can't you see that and all of that stuff, instead of supporting them and saying, okay, you can't get this question, we'll move on. Or trying to explain it to them in a way perhaps that they can understand. Now, not everybody can understand math, and so therefore we rely on people that really understand math to be able to teach them that. So that might not be an appropriate question. If you are not good at math, you shouldn't be helping your kid with math. Quite literally. But I mean, every time they make a mistake, every time they, they're riding their bike and they're talking to their buddy and they're not looking where they're going and they scrape your car. Oh, crap. Do you rip them a new one? You shouldn't be. Not if you're trying to create that person that we were talking about before.